Hey everyone, this is Rochelle, and welcome to Multiple Passive Streams of Income. This is episode 6. I revealed my 3 failed products in episodes 1, 2, and 3. In episode 4, I discussed getting a coach from Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, also known as AOE, which was a vital piece in my journey, as well as a full review of all the different levels of membership of AOE. The link for AOE is in the description below. And finally, in episode 5, I talk about the importance of differentiation in the product selection process. Now, in mid-November, I spoke to my coach Jeffrey twice about products, and by November 19th, I discussed a few designs with him, and he told me which one he thought would sell. On November 20th, I messaged about 10 suppliers on Alibaba, and by November 26th, I paid for samples from 4 of the 10 suppliers. Now, the 4 were selected by their price quotes and their response times to my messages. If you haven't already tried this process, you'll realize that the time difference, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is when I'm getting responses back from China from messages I left in the morning. So there's a time difference there. Then there's the back and forth nature of it all. And something that should take no more than a day will probably take a few days to complete because of the time difference. Now, usually the Chinese supplier will send you a product as a sample that's already manufactured. But because this is a print-on-demand product, I had to send the design to them, and they had to manufacture the actual design on that product. And so getting the samples from the 4 suppliers took a little bit longer than usual. There was also a little learning curve for me, as I had to get the design created in the format that they use. So I used Fiverr.com to get that done. Between the 5th of December and the 12th of December, I received the 4 samples. Once I decided on the supplier, and I chose that supplier because of the quality of the sample and the attention to detail with the design, I paid 30% to start the manufacturing of 300 sets. It was 100 sets of each color variation, so 3 colors for the product that I'm selling. Now, the lesson here is suppliers have MOQs, which stands for minimum order quantities. Many times the MOQ will say 500 or 1,000 when you're looking on Alibaba. Do not order that many until you can test the market. Just explain to them that you can't order the MOQ that they request because you need to test the market first. If you are doing a product with no variations, I would suggest only ordering 100 units at most. Some suppliers won't let you order that little amount, but many will. So just keep messaging till you find some that will. But they are going to charge you more per unit, and that's okay. You'd rather have 100 units sent to Amazon with a smaller profit margin than 500 units with a larger profit margin that doesn't end up selling. So once the supplier started manufacturing the order, I purchased my GS1 barcodes. Now, I have purchased non-GS1 barcodes in the past, and they did work okay. No problems. But I decided to go with GS1 barcodes this time because I hoped to create a brand at some point, and I didn't want the barcodes to have any issues in the future. So I created my variation listings and my shipping plan, and this you'll do early on in the process because you have to give the supplier the ASIN information and the carton information from the shipping plan. So you will also have a few weeks to work with while your inventory is being manufactured. And so use those weeks to do your listing, and that consists of your title, your bullet points, and your description. I recommend, even as a newbie, to do this yourself. Don't spend money on a third party doing this for you like I did. There's no need to hire anyone. All you have to do is just look at all the other sellers' listings, take the best of what you see in each of them, then combine them and make your own unique listing. Okay. Same thing with the product images. I looked at all the other sellers' listings. I looked at their product images. I picked the best ones. I took screen prints of them and I gave those screen prints to the photographer and said, this is the type of images I want for my product. Now, finally, on January 14th of this year, the inspection happened. Everything went good. So the inventory was ready to ship on January 15th. On January 17th, Shane from Sample Checkers, that's who I use for my shipping, contacted me to tell me that in order to get the inventory out before the Chinese New Year, there was going to be an additional cost of $200. So I had to pay it to get it out on time. I sent my inventory DDPC, which basically means door to door by sea freight. And that's the cheapest versus air freight. I went with the cheaper cost. I also had the supplier mail the product directly to the photographer, all 3 color variations of my product. And I use gomibby.com.au as my photographer. So I wanted the photographer to get the product and they could be doing the product images so they would be done by the time the inventory arrived at Amazon. On February 5th, my product finally got to Amazon. I spoke to my coach. He suggested doing the following for PPC. He suggested doing a $10 daily auto campaign, a $5 daily exact campaign, a $5 daily phrase campaign, and a $5 broad campaign. Now that's $25 daily. That may seem like a lot, and maybe it is for some, but in order to get your product on page 1, you are going to have to use PPC, and I don't think $25 is too much when you're trying to do this as a business. So I can tell you that the broad campaign was probably the only campaign that actually would use the entire $5 throughout the day. The other ones never maxed out. So I wasn't actually spending a full $25 every day. Also, the keyword bids were 75 cents each, and all my campaigns were dynamic bids down only. The 2 main keyword phrases that I targeted had search volumes of 8,200 and 6,400 according to Merchant Words. And so what that means is that my title has these 2 main keyword phrases as the first words of the title. Then I usually follow it with a key benefit of the product. And then I follow it by some other information that the buyer may need, like sizes or colors. One of the questions I asked my coach after deciding to move forward with the product was how much of a profit margin should a product have to be able to sustain PPC campaigns? Now, that question is hard to digest because your profit margin is not going to look good at first. Remember, you're getting photos done, you're creating the packaging for your product. So there's a lot of upfront costs, but once you know your product can sell, your reorders will increase your bottom line each time because you will be reordering more per order, and the upfront costs like photography and barcodes, you won't have those costs sooner or later. So in this case, my product cost $7.07 to make. The shipping by DDPC was a total of $1,391.64. That includes that $200 extra charge for the Chinese New Year. I also bought 10 GS1 barcodes that cost me $250. So let's say for this product, I had to use 4 barcodes, 1 for the parent listing and 3 for the child listings for the 3 color variations. So that was $100 worth of barcodes for this product. The product photos cost $610.07. And also, that was a little higher because the images had to be done for all three colors. I also had some Fiverr stuff that I had to do that totaled $31, and the inspection was $185.74. Again, always do an inspection. Now, I'm not going to include costs like Jungle Scout and Helium 10, or the domain name that I purchased in the domain email that I'm going to use in the future. I'm not including those costs inside of this calculation. My FBA fees are $11.82 in total, and I'm selling the product for $29.99. So there's only about $3.38 worth of profit on each sale. And obviously, PPC costs more than that. So ultimately, I'm probably not making any money or very little money on this first order. Now, that may seem like nothing, and it isn't anything substantial right now, of course, but remember, the first order is to test the market, to make sure it can sell, and then to use PPC to get to page one of some of the lower search keywords. And I am on page one for the keywords in my title. I will do a video in the future showing some more details about sales and PPC costs. But once you get to some page ones, then you aim your PPC to some higher search volume keywords. And as you optimize and add to your page one results, the profits will get better over time. So as of today, I've already reordered 500 units of the product. I'm basically halfway sold out at this point, and I've also run out of one color. The most popular color I ran out of yesterday. And this order will cost less per unit. This time I'll only be paying $6.50 per product versus $7.07. Also, I am adding two more color variations, so there will be two more barcode costs and some more photography costs this next go round. But if I can get more page ones and keep reordering, my organic sales will increase and reordering will be less expensive. No more photo costs or barcode costs or Fiverr costs. I hope this gives you some insight into how lengthy the process is from product selection to the product arriving to Amazon and some of the numbers behind the scenes. But I have a lot more to come soon. Thanks for your time, as I know you could be any other place right now. Take care.